everyone, and welcome to a very afternoony version of Raw Dogs. I am your host, Nick Perkins, joined as always by JPJ Loves Gaming, and joined sometimes by Cory Hayes.
I'm
He's
back.
Boy, are we happy
I'm back.
to be here.
I feel great.
How's it going, gentlemen? How's your afternoon going?
Like I said before we went on the air, I love afternoon wrestling. It's very refreshing. So it's going great.
Yep, big fan. A little weird on a Monday. A Monday to have the afternoon wrestling. Got to get used to that over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, no, feeling good.
Hang on, guys. Sorry, it's saying that something happened and didn't go live.
Oh, we didn't go live.
That's weird. All right, we'll try it again.
All right,
sorry.
Cue it up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raw Dogs, an afternoon BODYSLAM.net Raw post show. It's good to see everybody. My name is Nick Perkins. I am your host, joined as always by JPJ Loves Gaming, and joined once in a while by Cory Hays.
We're back. We're back. I feel great now. We're back.
Good. The Three Musketeers are back. It feels right. We feel whole again, and I'm very excited, guys. It's what an afternoon. It's like 4 o'clock my time. I think you guys are a couple hours ahead. This is great.
6:06. Yes.
Wow.
I love me some afternoon wrestling, because in the rest of the day you can do whatever you want after.
Yeah, I'm actually technically still in the middle of my work day, so.
Listen, priorities. Priorities are priorities. I don't judge. No, yeah, I love afternoon wrestling too. I go a little different vibe on a Monday. Got to get used to the Monday afternoon wrestling. But other than that, I'm like Cory, and a good afternoon wrestling show, can't beat it. You can't beat it.
That's great. You can have lunch while you watch John Cena and Cody Rhodes deliver an epic segment. We'll get into all of that, but before we do, Cory, I know that you've kind of been out sick. You've had some stuff going on, but update everybody. How you doing, buddy?
I feel a lot better. I felt like I was on my deathbed for probably the first week that I had whatever the hell's going around. Like, I did not want to get out of my bed at all. I had a fever. My body was aching. It was bad. I was taking medicine and all kinds of stuff, and it was not helping. Then it started slowly going away. But the cough was still there, and my throat was still hurting. But now I feel 100%. I feel great. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. I hope I don't get sick anymore this year.
Yeah, hopefully it's just out of your system, literally.
I hope so.
Awesome. Well, we are glad to have you back. JPJ, how you doing, man? It's been a good week. It's been a long week. How's your week been?
Yeah, week's been good. I'm a big gamer. MLB The Show came out on Friday, so I've been grinding my weekend away doing stuff like that, having some fun over there when I'm not watching wrestling, because we had some Maple Leaf Pro had a good show over the weekend. GCW had some good shows over the weekend. Like, there's a lot of good stuff happening. So it's been a busy weekend, but a fun one.
It has. And before we get into the fun stuff, I did want to take just a minute to send our feelings out, our thoughts, our prayers, our good vibes to the family of Vince Steele. That was not some great news that we got yesterday. Unfortunately, we've been told that he did pass away yesterday in the middle of a match. How tragic,
sad.
How fucking scary and sad, and our thoughts are with the family and the friends and the fans of this larger than life athlete.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
I don't know how to segue out of that, so let's just go ahead and talk about how great this afternoon Raw was. I mean, it started at 11 and then kind of like went a little bit down. But boy, that 11, that opening segment with John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
The plateau was there from the jump.
We have been waiting 2 weeks. 2 weeks to hear from this guy about why he did what he did, and we've all been waiting, and you could tell.
So was the wait worth it? What do you guys think?
Yes,
spectacular segment.
Absolutely,
spectacular segment.
He basically came out. He came out there. Oh my goodness, the nuclear crowd from the beginning in Brussels.
Great crowd. Man,
oh my
man.
goodness. They as soon as his music hits, it's still the same old music. Still the same old graphics. He comes out, but it's not happy-go-lucky John Cena. He just comes out there with a mean mug on his face, comes out with his special Brussels shirt on. He's got his towel with him still. He looks into the camera, does his normal thing with the towel, and he does not sprint to the ring. He walks.
No. I bet his cardio will appreciate that. And before we get into what he said, what do we think? I saw a tweet. I forget who tweeted it, but they said, and props to them, the heelest thing that John Cena could do is not change anything about his appearance and his outfit and his attitude. And that's exactly what he did.
Act like nothing happened.
Were you guys expecting him to kind of have this major overhaul or what?
I thought he might have had new music. I thought, if anything, maybe new music, but I thought, for the most part, we'd see what we saw. But when, obviously, which we're going to talk about, when you start diving into what he said, the whole basis was, well, it was never me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, why would he change? He's been the same guy the whole time. It's the fans that have, at first.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. And like at first I was kind of like, oh wow, after all this time they're doing a You People promo. That's what they're doing with Cena. But then as it went on, I was like, that actually is the perfect thing to do with Cena, because Cena has been the people, you know, he's the man of the people forever, you know. So
yeah. It was I'll give you a little tidbit about what the title was of the show tonight internally. Hustle, loyalty, disrespect.
Nice. Breaking news from Cory.
Hustle, loyalty, disrespect was the internal name of the show tonight. SmackDown's was Here Comes the Spain. So they're doing a lot of puns.
Love a good pun.
But yeah, the name of the show tonight internally makes perfect sense, because everything that he said, everything that he did tonight in that opening segment, he goes out there, he does the entrance like a heel. He doesn't do John Cena. He just goes straight to the ring, serious as hell. He has the towel, lays the towel on the mat, outside the ring, on the mat, on the apron out there, walks up, gets in the ring. The crowd is giving it to him. They're giving it to him in multiple ways. They're saying a lot of things in multiple languages to him. He grabs the mic. He's getting frustrated. It's looking like he's just gonna walk out of there, not say a damn thing. He's gonna walk away. But then he just goes in. He goes in on the crowd. He starts explaining what happened. Starts explaining what happened, why he did what he did. He's talking. You got the dual chants, the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks, which kind of surprised me, because he's still getting the Let's Go Cena chants, but the majority of the crowd was against him. Like they have.
This is what Jason J and I talked about last week. We said that there's still going to be the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks chants, except it's flipped on who's saying it, which is super fun. So now, it's like different. The white males are doing the Let's Go Cena, and then maybe the kids and the moms.
The kids, it's just the whole thing has shifted to the other side of it and things like that. Yeah. I also thought it was very clever the way that when he was slowly walking down, they kept the camera behind him the whole time, so you could see him slowly walking down, and you saw like every individual fan,
every
pointing at him, putting the thumbs down, yelling at him, and it was like, those fans represented all of us for 20 years. Like, I can't believe you did what you just did. And I just thought it was a perfectly shot thing. It was beautiful.
Not to mention, the back of his shirt says something. There's meaning on the back of his shirt also. So they were following him. I love the drone shots. The drone shots in the arena were fantastic.
Man.
All of the entrances, the drone shots, it's circling around the entire arena. Netflix production is top notch. The arena looked great when he came out. He started out he started out with the quote that he posted this morning on Twitter at 5:00 in the morning. He started out his promo by saying, when someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside of themselves for approval. He posted that at 5:00 this morning, and he started his promo tonight with that same exact quote.
So do you think, because Cena, obviously, he's notorious for his super by-the-book, typical, weird alpha energy tweets that he puts out. Do we think that every time he speaks now, he's going to begin it with some weird quote?
I think it makes sense because although he's embracing, we'll get into what he said about babyface and heel and all that. Although he's embracing this different side, screw the fans and whatnot, he's still playing the same exact persona on social media. On Instagram, he's still posting cryptic photos. On Twitter, he's still posting his motivational quotes every single day. So I think it would fit if he comes out and starts his segment, whatever he's got, because they're going to give him a mic every single week that he's advertised, obviously. So if he starts it out with a motivational quote that he posted that morning in regards to what's going on in this whole angle, because that's probably what it's going to end up being. His motivational quotes are going to tie in, just like his Instagram posts were tying into everything he was telling us before he officially turned and aligned himself with The Rock. He was telling us through pictures exactly what he was going to do, but people didn't catch on to it until after the fact. So he's telling a story in social media that people aren't really understanding. So I think it makes sense.
Speaking of that, he's been posting a lot of Joker content. So I was expecting a little bit more like words about chaos and playing jokes. Where's the Joker stuff coming from?
He's gonna end up going into the Joker side as the story goes on towards WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's gonna end up. You'll see the side come out more and more.
Yeah.
We have 4 weeks now until Mania in Vegas.
Sure.
Over 4 weeks.
Yeah, and I think tonight, like, obviously Cody comes out and we'll dive into that, but like tonight was not about Cena and Cody. It was not about Cena and The Rock. Tonight was about Cena and us.
Yeah.
So this was his address. This was his address to us, to the fans. This wasn't about why it was Cody he attacked or why he aligned with The Rock. This was specifically, hey, we've had this relationship for 25 years, and you and I are going to talk about it right now.
Yeah,
and that's what tonight was. It was the first, hey, this is between you and me, and then I'll get to that stuff soon enough. But this is between you and me. And that's how I felt tonight was handled. It was him addressing the fans. It was about his relationship with us, and he'll get to The Rock and he'll get to Cody in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and that's why when Cody came out, it's like he didn't even really address him. He looked at him, he stared at him with such a serious. I think he said one thing to Cody, and he called him a kid.
Yeah,
he called him a kid, and that pissed off Cody. He said, "I'm not a kid. I'm the WWE champion."
Yeah, and good for him for saying it. But before we get into the Cody stuff, I want to talk a little bit more about the content of what Cena said, because it felt like he was speaking directly to me. I felt like I was at fault. He legitimately gaslighted me into thinking, "Oh my God, maybe I'm the reason up on the guy."
Yeah. And that's how it should be. The way that he did it, the way he is on the microphone, it's top notch. I don't think anybody touches him on the microphone in the history of professional wrestling. He's just that good, and he has that connection with the fans where good guy or bad guy, you feel like he's talking to you.
Yeah.
And you definitely 100% knew he was talking to you this time. He's taking shots at you. He's basically saying, you bullied me into being a puppet for these years. I did all of this. I changed my career. I changed the way I was because of you, and you did not appreciate me. You did the same exact thing for 25 years, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all of you. I'm breaking up with you. None of you matter to me anymore. It's just about me, myself, and I. I don't care about any of you. So those of you who say you support me, you don't support me. You buy those shirts, you look stupid because I don't look like you. You look like me. I don't dress like you. You dress like me. So he was talking 100% to the fans. He said, "I'm not a babyface. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being. And each and every one of you has been awful to me. You've been awful. It's been the same exact thing for 25 years." So he was taking the time to go at each and every one of us. Despite me being a John Cena fan for my entire professional wrestling fandom, it stung a little bit. But I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm excited to see where we go next with this. He obviously the next 2 weeks he's advertised. I'm pretty sure he's going to get added to another show before WrestleMania. So we're going to see him. We're going to see him a lot. Then he got added. It came out today that he got added to the Raw after WrestleMania. He's already advertised for SmackDown after WrestleMania. Then he's got like 4 SmackDowns. He's got a Saturday night's main event. He's advertised for. He's going to be around a lot. So for the people that have been saying that John Cena is not full time, no, he's not full time, but he's going to be around a lot more than you think he is.
Yeah, I love the line where he was like, I announced my retirement. And all you people did was, well, what do we get? How many dates are we getting? What do we get? And he goes, not one of you sons of bitches asked me how I feel.
Yep.
And he swore and he said sons of bitches, and it was very on purpose. And that was really the only time he like did that and cursed and kind of and not one of you sons of bitches asked me how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah,
because what was the discourse? He announces it out of nowhere last year in Toronto, and everyone's like, "Holy crap! All right." But what was the discourse? Was, "Oh, do you think it's going to be a part-time thing? How many dates are we going to get? What's he going to be doing? Oh, and it's all about what
retiring.
It's all about when's he going to retire? When's the last match? Oh my God, the dream list of matches we want. All this. Oh, we need this. We need him in Punk. We need him in Orton. We all need it. And nobody's like, "Oh, I wonder if John's emotional about that."
Absolutely.
It's been said.
It works.
It's always been said that the greatest heels are the ones that really believe that they're in the right. And in this case, John Cena is kind of in the right. And obviously he's turning it up a notch, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these feelings were real feelings that the man John Cena had.
Definitely. John Cena, he's very online. Despite him not being like a very public person, he's very online. He sees a lot of things. He pretty much all of them are. A lot of these wrestlers, a lot of the people in the office, they're all keeping tabs on everything. Even with his busy Hollywood schedule, he still keeps an eye on everything. He watches the product. He sees what people are saying. And like you said, JPJ, he said nobody checked on me. Nobody asked me how am I doing. And that's the whole vocal point of this. You people are the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now. You caused this. You're the reason I took out your golden boy. Because of you, you guys have treated me the same exact way for these 25 years, which he's right. Since he was in OVW from 2000 until 2025, fans have never been behind him. The fans have never been behind him, despite him being the face of the company for 15 years, full time. Fans have never been behind him. He has been booed out the ass for those 15 years that he was designated as the face of the company from 2004 to 2019 when he was full time the entire time. The fans did not like him. The ladies and the kids liked him. The men did not. The men are the hardcore fans. The men did not like him. And now the roles are reversed, like you guys said. The roles are reversed. We got the men, the grown men behind him, and you got the women and the children saying, no, we don't like you anymore. You had that one child in the crowd that they zoomed in on today.
You see that kid? Oh my God.
Yeah, hilarious.
He was decked out and head to toe in his gear, and John Cena pretty much pointed him out and said,
He
"No."
yelled at that poor baby boy.
Yeah.
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 Oh my
That
God.
kid is gonna be a meme for the rest of his
That is
entire
his
life.
villain origin story right there.
That kid, we'll probably see that kid end up in the business now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great. He'll point to
Yeah.
it and be like, "That's the moment." Do you guys like the fact that Cena kind of called it an abusive relationship? I know that's kind of a sensitive topic these days, especially. Do you think it there's a way to walk the line without crossing it, which I think Cena can do? But you guys think that's a good idea?
He's somebody that can get away with that type of wording because it's not. You know exactly what he means, the way that he says it. He's not saying it in the type of way that you would think of an abusive relationship. He's basically saying that, like I said earlier, you guys are bullying me. You guys have been bullying me my entire career, and because of you, I am who I am now, and I'm not doing any of this for you whatsoever.
Yeah. I fully agree. I think the way it was just played out and the way that he threw everything back and he's making money off these people buying those shirts. And in the promo, he's calling out he's calling out every single person that purchased that. He's like, I can literally see who you people are. Like, you are he's calling people out for helping him finance. You know what I mean? I just thought the way they did it was just very well done. It was just very well done. And like I said, there's so much truth behind it. And even in the actions of the crowd with their chants and the things like that, they were proving his point as cutting the promo.
Exactly.
He's laughing, he's smirking, he's putting the mic out and he's looking at the camera and he's saying, pick all this up.
Eating it up.
Like, he's like, they are proving my point without me saying anything.
I feel like Cena really kind of understood the assignment with the crowd, and anytime 100%. They would chant something, he would bring that in and make it a part of what he was saying, which just proves to all of us that he really is the best at what he does.
One of the best. One of the best.
Yeah, not to mention another line in this segment, in this 25-minute segment that they had, he said, "You claim to support me. What have you ever done to support me, huh? What have you ever done for me? All you ever do is steal from me. You steal my personal moments. You steal my time." And he's right. Yeah. He's right. He gave and he gave and he gave for all of those years, and he missed out on so many things. If you remember back in the day, they did that whole "You're Fired" storyline with the Nexus. If you remember? And he cut that emotional promo because he was on his way out. He said, "I get to go see my mom now. My mom's birthday's this week. I get to go see my mom. My brother had a baby. I get to go be an uncle." He missed out on so many personal moments for us, for the fans. And now roles are reversed. He's saying basically, you guys want me now that I am the way that I am, but I don't want you anymore. I don't care for any of you. So you can all shove it.
Yeah.
I know that everybody compares the John Cena heel turn to the Hulk Hogan heel turn, and for good reason. But I would say that Cena's promo very much was an evolution and a better evolution of Hogan's promo. It was basically like, I did what I did because of you guys, like you said, Jay, you people, but it was your fault, and you took, and now it's my time to take. It's not your time anymore. My time is now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and then there was another line. I don't know the exact thing that he said, but he said, "You guys, I would come out here week after week, and you guys would treat me like crap, and you guys would still, even though you treat me like crap, you would expect me to do everything with a smile on my face."
Yep.
And be that guy, even though you guys hated me and you didn't want me to be that guy, but
I was your puppet.
But yes, and just the way he threw all that stuff in, and it was laid out. And then you have the whole second half with Cody, and then the end after that, which was even it's just, yeah, man, it was just, we haven't even got to the Cody part yet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Cody came out and he asked John Cena who he was. And John Cena, like you said, called Cody kid. And Cody said, "No, sir, I am the WWE champion, and you will respect me." I thought that was really cool. That kind of showed that Cody's not going to played little brother to John Cena in this feud. I can't wait until they have a legitimate like back and forth.
And what he said right after that too, where he goes, "Hey man, I've been looking forward to this, man. I've been like, holy crap, I'm gonna go fight John Cena at WrestleMania. I wanted to go week after week of going barbs with John Cena, and I got this. I got this." Yeah. And then he goes, "And if you show up at Mania, I'm gonna run right. If this John Cena shows up, I'm running right through you."
Yeah.
Right
he
through.
He said, "Who the hell are you? Where's the guy on that shirt?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Go find John Cena because I want to wrestle him at WrestleMania 41, not this whiny bitch.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, guys, I didn't think so at first, but I'm getting that creeping feeling in the back of my neck that this whiny bitch is gonna beat Cody Rhodes. I think he's probably gonna win.
They're not doing this for no reason. If they do this entire angle and it leads to Cody Rhodes just going over John Cena with Cena being the heel, there was no point. There was no point. The whole thing for this is going to be, can Cody Rhodes hold his ground against the greatest of all time? The greatest of all time is now a heel. Can Cody Rhodes elevate himself to become the biggest babyface in WWE history and stand with the greatest wrestler of all time? In my opinion, he's going to, but he's going to come out on the losing side, and he's going to have to chase that title again. They're going to have him chase the title as a babyface, and he's going to get the title back. And that's where you cement his legacy as potentially the greatest babyface in WWE history, by taking out that number one guy.
Him beating Cena eventually will be just as big, if not bigger, than when he beat Roman Reigns. And you're right, and that really will cement Cody Rhodes as the babyface of this generation. And Cody Rhodes is, Sam Roberts said it, Cody Rhodes is the best babyface when he's going up against the best heel, the super villain. When we can get behind Cody Rhodes and we can want to fight for him, that's when Cody Rhodes is the best. And I think Cody Rhodes could end up being everything they wanted John Cena and Roman Reigns to be in their primes. He can be the babyface star.
He's 100%. He's 100% going to do that. He's up to the challenge. He did what he did in his career to get where he is right now. Without all that hard work that he did, without taking that chance on himself and telling WWE, I want to leave and I want to be released, without doing that, he's not where he is today. Taking that leap of faith, having WWE release him from his contract, going away for 6 years, and doing what he did before returning, that put us where we are right now, and I believe he is exactly where he belongs. He's exactly in that number one spot where he belongs. And the crowd reactions don't lie. The crowd reactions don't lie. If you listen to that Brussels crowd the night when he came out for about 4 minutes in that entrance, he's soaking it all in before he gets serious with Cena. He's taking it all in with that crowd. And that just goes to show you, no matter where he goes, he is quarterback number one. He is the face of the company. No matter what anybody says, that is the face of the company right there.
And I think him being in that status and where he's at right now is part of the reason that allowed them to do something like this with John Cena. Because I feel like obviously there's a different regime and Triple H is running things, but like I feel like they're at a point now where they feel comfortable enough that they can do what they did with John Cena and say, we can afford this because we have our John Cena and it's Cody. Like he's our guy. And so like that leads into why they feel comfortable enough to go, hey, you know what? After all this time, we are going to do this shit because we have this guy and this is going to elevate Cody. And this is going to make Cody at the end an even bigger guy and like legitimately maybe the biggest guy of all time from a popularity standpoint. Like that's the story here. The story is right now John Cena turning heel, but the main purpose of this is Cody Rhodes is going to become the biggest superstar in the history of the WWE. And this is an essential pivotal piece in that.
What other way can you do it than put him
He's about to go through The Rock and John Cena together. As back like he
already beat Roman. So
like he is going to be the biggest superstar in the history of WWE. Like, this is where we are.
By the time his career is over in about 5 years, when he wants to hang it up, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
what a run. What a success story in Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Man, what a show. What a segment. We have spent how much? A half hour talking about this opening segment.
One last thing. I know we talked about it a lot, but after Cody leaves and Cena is in the ring and he just puts down the mic and he just leaves and you have the crowd singing the na na na. John Cena's farewell tour. That is the last time that Brussels crowd is ever going to see John Cena.
Yeah.
And they have killed this and done this so well that that crowd was literally shooing him away. And his last ever farewell tour, and the crowd is like, "Bye, John. Don't let the door kick you on the way out, buddy. See you later."
You see when he gets to the top of the ramp, all he does is look back.
Yeah.
He look back at them and walks backstage.
Do you think that was him? You think that was him taking a moment, just being like, "This is the last time I'm going to see these guys"?
Absolutely. He's taking it in not only as a character but as the man, knowing this is truly my last time here, my last time around. I'm gonna soak in every single moment, no matter what, heel or babyface.
Yeah.
Absolutely, guys. Well, as soon as we get done, I'm gonna go back and watch it again. Corey, you said you've already watched it again.
Yeah, I went back and watched it before we came on here, and oh my goodness,
my
God, I got chills again.
Yeah, it's everything we about. And this is the kind of thing you can point to when you say maybe wrestling doesn't need wrestling. Maybe just segments like this. But the good news is we are eventually going to get a match between the two at WrestleMania. One last thing, because the news has come out. Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be in Las Vegas over WrestleMania weekend.
The picture. Absolutely. He's advertised for WWE World on Saturday and Sunday. The plan, Viper Reports of PWN put it in the Discord a few weeks ago, and said WWE had been discussing some plans with Stone Cold Steve Austin for WrestleMania 41. Nothing was set in stone. No match, obviously. He's not going to wrestle or anything, but they were talking to him. They were discussing. Obviously, Austin lives like 2 hours away from Vegas. He lives in Nevada, so he lives close to Vegas. So it's not a hard trip for him. He would have done Philly last year, but it was kind of a conflicting schedule thing and the traveling. He had surgery earlier this year on his knee, but that doesn't mean he can't make an appearance at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and I think he's going to show up in this story.
Yes.
Because last year, if you remember, he did an interview. He said, "If Cody needs me, I'm there." So
yeah. Cody needs him now more than ever.
Cody needs him now. Yeah, he needed him instead of the Undertaker last year. But
if there's a time for him to return, it's right now. We can go back to 1999 and have him go face to face with The Rock.
Here's the question, though.
And Cody Rhodes are across from each other.
Here's the question, though. If Stone Cold does come back and get involved, does that mean that Cody should win? You know, because you don't want to have Stone Cold come and John Cena still win the match.
I feel like he's gonna hit a stunner on Dwayne. He's gonna hit a stunner on Dwayne. He's gonna end up leaving. Some shenanigans are gonna go down again, and Cena's gonna end up winning. But I feel like it's a feel good moment for the crowd, and like I said, it's a throwback. It's a throwback right now. In this era is a lot of fun. We're having fun with this era right now, and going back, sometimes nostalgia is okay. And if you have him come in and you go back to an Attitude Era feud right there, that was probably the hottest feud or a top 3 feud of all time right there between the two of them, the two ball jabronis right there, then I think the fans would want to see it. The fans would want to see it, but I still ultimately think John Cena walks away with number 17.
Yep.
I think I agree. Well, speaking of matches, let's talk about the first one on Raw tonight, which was Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser. Always great to see Penta, especially great to see Penta with a crowd like this, huh?
Penta's entrance changes every single week, and it just gets better every single week.
Yeah, he is so badass.
Every single week.
Yeah, he's just cool as hell. There's not he's good at he's just cool. He's just cool as hell.
I don't like to talk bad about the other place. I don't like to talk bad about the other place. But this man has all star written over him.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that you did not really do anything with him, yeah, he was solid. He was solid. He was able to be used in great tag team matches.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic tag team matches. You put him in a trios with Pac and his brother. They did some great work too. He did some solo work, but the fact that he didn't get more when he came in to AEW, it was a shame. But I'm glad because Paul Levesque has wanted him for a long time. He wanted Penta for years. He has wanted Penta in WWE for years, but he wasn't the one in charge, unfortunately. So he wasn't able to bring him in. Now he's able to bring him in with his vision, and he's been in WWE now for 2 months officially. It's been 2 months since he debuted back in January. He debuted on January 13th, Monday Night Raw.
Heck yeah.
So he fantastic presentation. It just gets better and better every single week. His in-ring work is so good. They've started him out with some of the best opponents that you could give him, the technical wrestlers. Him and Ludwig Kaiser in the No Holds Barred match. They didn't really do many over the top spots, but they did the good spots. They did good spots. Ludwig Kaiser giving him a Death Valley driver on the announce table. Penta utilizing the chair, hitting a Mexican destroyer on the chair, throwing the chair at Ludwig Kaiser, ultimately planting him, getting the W over Ludwig and ending their feud that way. Solid. I enjoyed it for what it was, a good little 10-12 minute match. Like I said, they gave Penta a solid amount of competitors to start in WWE. They gave him the best. Gave him to Pete Dunne, gave him Ludwig Kaiser. They gave him a few, Chad Gable. They gave him a few of them, but what a way for him to start. What a way for him to pick up the win. What were your guys' thoughts on that match?
When I hear No Holds Barred, I expect more than what we got. But I feel like, so the last couple, not the same kind of match at all right? But the last couple, like, unsanctioned, No Holds Barred street fights we've seen in WWE, there aren't over the top crazy spots, but like you said, they do the good spots, or like the emotion is more involved in it than like, holy crap, they're using thumbtacks and craziness and things like that. I felt like, I mean, I there wasn't much No Holds Barred to the No Holds Barred, but I thought the match was a lot of fun and a great match between two great Ludwig Kaiser has everything you want in a main event guy too. Like, he's a stud. In
the last 6 months, he has stepped up his game so much.
Yeah,
he's gotten out of Gunther's shadow and gone on a solo run. Although he's still associated with Imperium, he's on this solo run that he's having right now. He's doing fantastic. I ultimately think that he's gonna win a mid-card title this year. I think a mid-card title is in the books for him. We'll get into talking about the mid-card title scene in a little bit. But yeah, I ultimately think, like you said, Ludwig Kaiser has it. He has it.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought this match, like you said, was solid. It was good. It just, obviously, when you hear No Holds Barred, I think our brains as wrestling fans go to a certain level, and I don't think there wasn't a ton of that. But other than that, it was a really solid match between the two. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. So you brought up the Intercontinental title. Let's talk about it, because Finn Balor had a backstage segment with the rest of Judgment Day. And Dominic Mysterio wants Penta to join Judgment Day, which Finn immediately put the kibosh on.
That segment immediately, because Penta got interviewed by Kathy Kelly after the match, and he made his intentions cleared. He wants the Intercontinental Championship. They go directly to Judgment Day, like you said, in the backstage segment. Dominic walks in. He tells Finn, I think we should add Penta to Judgment Day. Really pisses Finn off, because Finn says, you want a guy that's gunning for my title to join this group? You're out of your mind.
Carlito asked Dominic.
Do you watch the show?
He goes, you don't watch the show, do you?
You don't watch the show.
That was a good line. That was a good line by Carlito.
I was dying laughing when he said that, because Dominic looked like lost after he said that. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And I like it because we've seen Finn as like this curmudgeon. He's never happy, but like before Dom showed up, Finn was in a great mood back there. He was complimenting Liv, complimenting Raquel. He was like, I'm going to win the IC title tonight. Like he's in a great bounce. He's feeling good. And then Dom shows up. He mentions Penta, and it's just back to pissed off.
Yeah,
angry.
There's
he called him. What did he call him? He called Dom a snake. He used the term. He called him a snake. So
yeah, there's something there. Something's brewing there between the two of them. We're ultimately going to get something with them. Something happens later on in the show. We'll talk about with them as well. But that segment was very well done because it had you questioning what is going to happen, what's going on here, why is Dom bringing Penta's name up for the Judgment Day? Because Dom was backstage talking in the background. You could see him. He's trying to recruit for Judgment Day, and it's gonna be something to watch in the next month and a half leading to WrestleMania and right after WrestleMania, because ultimately Judgment Day is gonna look entirely different. It's just what are they gonna do and how does it happen? So we'll see. But yeah, the backstage segment was well done. Putting more tension between the two of them.
And it did get us excited for the main event. But before we get there, let's talk about Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. I think they had a pretty good match for what it was.
Solid short match. Short match. But we've seen this match twice already. We didn't really have to see much again. We've seen it. We've seen it a few times, just like we've seen Ivy Nile go up against Lyra a few times. We've seen Dakota. So they have the same mid-card people going up against the same people. So we've seen it. Dakota Kai ultimately comes out with the W. You see Chad Gable shows up ringside right before the match. Chad Gable's out there with the Creed brothers. They're rooting on Ivy Nile. And then once Chad Gable's out there, you have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee running out. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee come out there. They run off Chad Gable, leading to Ivy Nile getting distracted. Dakota Kai ultimately picks up the win with the GTK. And then that was that from that. There wasn't really much. They were building towards something later, though, because during commercial break internationally, American Made had before this match, American Made had a segment back there where the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile were talking, and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee walked up and they asked, "Where's Chad Gable? Where's Chad Gable? He thinks he can get away with what he did last week. He thinks he can get away. Where's Chad Gable?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? Master Gable wasn't the one that did that last week. What are you talking about?" And so Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee basically said, "All right, you guys want to play stupid? We'll see you in the ring later. So it sets up a match between the Creed brothers and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee for later, which is also why it tied into this women's mid-card match.
Yeah, and indeed it did. Are you guys excited about the idea of Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on the Creed brothers?
I like all four of them. All four of them. We'll get into their match a little bit. We won't really talk about it. They had their match tonight. It was good. But yeah, I when that was announced backstage, I was like, okay, we're gonna get some solid technical wrestling. Yeah. Ultimately, I feel like Rey and Dragon Lee should get the win. But yeah, we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I like all four of those. I really like the Creeds a lot as a tag team. I think they have a lot to give. I feel like they should be winning more matches than they currently do. But with that being said, yeah, I like all four of those guys, especially Dragon Lee. I feel like they've done a little start and stop with Dragon Lee a little bit. Like that guy,
I think they're
a big time player for them too. They got to make a move.
I think they're starting to move him in the right direction again.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like you're gonna start seeing more luchadors being pushed in WWE. I feel like it's moving to that direction. Absolutely, because like we talked about, Penta's presentation has been perfect since he came into the company. Dragon Lee starting to get momentum again, being showcased on TV weekly, because there was a period where he was off TV before he went on leave for his wife having a baby. He was off TV. and now he's back on TV weekly. So it's good to see him on TV wrestling. Him wrestling in front of an international crowd today was great. Then I'm going to touch on it a little bit because we don't really talk about what happens on other shows.
Yeah.
There was a vignette shown on SmackDown. There was a
There was.
vignette shown on SmackDown of somebody walking the ropes and sitting on the top turnbuckle. And there's an impending luchador coming into the company, coming into SmackDown. He's coming into SmackDown, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows who he is. He's one half of the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix is coming into WWE too, and the way that his vignette was presented, like I said, it looks like luchadors are going to start getting presented in a better way within this regime of WWE. It looks like he's starting out on SmackDown too, from what I've heard. Looks like he's going to be running solo on SmackDown like Penta's running on Raw right now. I feel like that's great for both of them right now to establish them as these solid competitors within WWE before you ultimately have the Lucha Brothers reunite down the line, either sometime later this year or in 2026. But for now, I feel like that is the best move possible, to have Phoenix start on SmackDown and establish himself that I don't need to be a tag team wrestler. I can do the same thing my brother's doing, but I'm probably going to do it better because I'm the younger brother. I can do things better than my older brother does over on that side. So, but yeah, it was great. Like I said, we see in luchadors, the only downside is we're not really seeing Andrade being presented anymore. But it is. There's reasons behind that, and we're not really going to get into it. But yeah, they it's good to see these guys getting the presentation that they deserve. I'm really excited to see him come in whenever he does come in, because he's supposed to come in before Mania. I'm excited for it. But yeah, Dragon Lee definitely deserves a push. He's not just a speed champion. He deserves a push.
Yeah,
Dragon Lee deserves a push, and I think now is the time. Now is the time for him to start kickstart that goal in WrestleMania.
Do you think we could get a cruiserweight division again in WWE with a cruiserweight title?
They have the talent for it.
Absolutely.
They have the talent for it. I just don't. WWE has so many titles right now that I don't know if they really want to bring that title back. I just feel like it 100% would work having the cruiserweight division back, because you have a lot of guys that fit that mold. 205 Live ultimately did not work. The show itself was fantastic. The talent on that show were fantastic. They had a good run there before they ultimately just started using 205 Live guys on Raw. They migrated to and then gave Enzo Amore the 205 the cruiserweight championship. Yeah. It all went to hell after that. But yeah, there's guys that could fit into the cruiserweight division. But I feel like these guys that fall into that weight class, they have a lot more to show for it. They deserve to go and fight the better fight. The cruiserweight division, I just don't feel like in this day and age would work. I don't think it works.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. I think the mid-card titles are more than enough for those.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's fair. Well, speaking of titles, the Io Sky, Bianca Belair signed a contract for their championship match at WrestleMania.
Kinda, not really. Yeah.
That segment.
Fair point. Fair point. What happened, Cory?
They definitely signed a contract, all right. They definitely signed a contract, but then they looked horrible. Hey, look, that was booked terribly because.
Why do you say that?
Because brutality showed up, and a brutality came in, and the question was, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? You don't belong here. You're not involved in this match. What are you doing here? And she pretty much said, you may be a bitch, Bianca, and not do anything to Io, but I'm gonna get my lick back for her slapping me last week. And then all of a sudden, they get in each other's face. Io comes, just like last week. Io comes up, tries to break it up. Bianca shoves Io this time, and all hell breaks loose, which ultimately leads to Bianca being laid out on the table, Rhea picking up Io, slamming her on top of Bianca on the table. Rhea Ripley picks up the contract, signs her name, takes the contract backstage with Adam Pearce yelling at her, "Give me the contract. It's not how this works. Give me the contract. Give me the contract." And then ultimately leading from that segment, you would run into Jey Uso and Gunther backstage.
Yeah, that's a transition.
Yeah, so basically the contract signing, the contract was officially signed by the two competitors designated for WrestleMania. But you also had Rhea Ripley sign somewhere. She signed somewhere on that contract and basically said, "I'm in here. I'm involved in this match now, and you can't tell me no." Adam Pearce said, "That's not how that works."
I love when wrestlers do that because that's not how contracts work. That's what happened. No. I don't know if you guys were watching back when Shawn Michaels added himself to Chris Benoit versus Triple H. That's how he got in that match too. And again, it's not really how contracts work, but in the world of professional wrestling,
anything can.
But Corey, you did mention that great transition going from the women to Jey Uso and Gunther. Jey said that he was ready to kick somebody's ass. Gunther confronted him. They had
hit my music.
Yeah, and then Uso just ran to the ring, and to me, it kind of looked like he was running away from the fight. What do you guys think?
I mean,
Adam Pearce didn't want them brawling back there. He separated them pretty much. He said, "Get out of here. You go to the ring. You get out. You stay back here." So he went out there. He was designated for a match against Austin Theory. He goes out there. Crowd goes nuts. The drone shots are insane.
Yeah, very good with the lights and the camera
all around. If we think it's good now, that WrestleMania shot with 65,000 people over there at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas is going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's
100% crazy. So he comes out. They do that. They go to commercial. He's still doing his entrance for 3 minutes during the commercial. A-Town Down comes out. A-Town Down Under. They come out. Austin Theory and Jey Uso have a match. If you want to call it a match.
That was not a match. One move.
Jey Uso wins. He hits him with a crossbody spear, it looked like. Crossbody spear, pins him within 10 seconds. The match is over. And then Gunther pops up again.
Beats him up.
Attacks him. Tries to choke him out. Jey Uso gets out of it this time. He takes the title. He rips the title from Gunther. Gets Gunther out the ring. He holds up the title. Stands on the top rope. And then throws the title at Gunther outside the ring.
I will say, Jey Uso looked really good holding that title. It looked like it fit.
It fits. We won't talk about what happened after the match with Jey Uso and A-Town Down Under, what he did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was fun. He pulled an AJ Francis.
Yeah, that's what's going on over the internet right now. AJ Francis is not happy about it.
Give AJ Francis a break. He had low blood sugar.
We love AJ.
He's very frustrated at people tagging him and saying this is just like that. He's upset, and rightfully so. The body doesn't respond. He could have been dead when he did that dive. So people are still taking shots at him, calling him flop dollar for that. It's ridiculous. Leave him alone. Jey Uso botched a dive outside the ring, but it's okay. Everybody botches. Nobody's perfect.
It's wrestling.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect at all. And that happens, like you guys said. It's professional wrestling. Nothing's perfect. Everybody has something that happens. But yeah, Jey Uso came out looking strong, threw the title like Gunther. They had their little stare down, and then that was that.
Jey Uso, in my opinion, needed to be strong, because I felt like, and it started off that way too when Gunther first came out. I feel like we've been seeing just Gunther taking him out week after week after week after week, and then there hasn't been any real progression to the story. So Jey kind of getting the one up a little bit tonight, hopefully leads to more stuff, because I do feel like of all the high profile matches, I do feel like this one needs a little bit more juice behind it. I feel like Jey is super over. That's not going to change, but the story of the match, I feel like can't just be 8 weeks of Jey saying everyone's doubted him his whole life. I need more than I need a little bit more than that. You know what I mean?
We keep saying week after week, but it's still so far the same thing.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see maybe tonight with him making Gunther look stupid for the first time, we see a little bit more of something, aggression or something moving forward. So,
well, speaking of aggression, Rhea Ripley still had a lot of aggression from the segment earlier. She told Adam Pearce to put her in the women's world title match. Then Bianca Belair came and attacked Ripley. Then Io Sky jumped in. The three all brawled again. It ended again with Ripley standing tall which to me means they have no choice but to add her to the match, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's inevitable at this point. Rhea Ripley standing strong. It seems like it happens all the time. I think she's gonna end up looking real strong going into Mania, but when she weasels her way into that match, she's not gonna win. She's gonna be the one who ultimately takes the pin.
Right? You think Io wins, or does Bianca reclaim?
I think Bianca. I think Bianca's winning.
Bianca's gonna end up walking away with it by pinning Rhea. I think something ultimately happens where Io gets out of the picture in that match and Bianca walks away the champion. If you have that turmoil and that tension between Bianca and Rhea, where it goes over the top, Io might come in and steal that W, which I wouldn't be opposed to. I like Io Sky with the title right now. It looks like it fits her. Even though she's only had the title for 2 weeks now, it fits her. It's been a good run with it, the way that they presented her as champion. But yeah, Rhea walking her way into this match pretty much, I think she's going to ultimately be the one that takes the pinfall.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Pinfalls, let me tell you, who got one. That was the LWO. Rey Mysterio.
Yes, they did.
They defeated the Creed brothers. I wish the match was longer, but this
very good match for the time that it got on TV. Yeah. I like that when I use Netflix, I don't have commercials, so I can watch the entire time. It flows smoothly. Shout out NordVPN. I like international.
You can get them as a sponsor. I'll see what I can do.
I love it. Using NordVPN to watch international feeds because the US gets screwed. I'm not gonna get screwed. I want to see what's going on during these commercial breaks. Sure. So I like that they do stuff during the commercial breaks too, because it keeps the audiences engaged. It makes the show flow faster, flow better. So yeah, with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio walking away with the W, somebody shows up. Somebody shows up after the match. Hey, Grande Americano pops up.
Sure does.
Grande Americano pops up again. This time, it's like a blue tracksuit on. And it pops up and takes out Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
Who could it be? I still don't know.
It's a mystery. We got to figure it out. We clearly saw last week that it was not Chad Gable.
Wasn't Chad Gable?
Clearly saw this.
Yeah, but somebody clearly wants to paint the picture that it's American.
Yeah, somebody is trying to frame Chad Gable in this and make him out to be the bad guy when he's just minding his business. It feels like
it's that Grande Americano person.
That Grande Americano guy.
Yeah,
but
I have a Grande Americano right here. So.
There you go. There you go. So was it you then?
Oh. Where were you during?
Yeah, where were you? Where were you? No,
not at liberty to say.
Yeah, no, I thought this match was fine. Again, short, but for what we got in the short match, it was a good match, as you would expect from these four. And then, I'm just interested to find out who this Grande Americano guy is and what he wants to do with Rey Mysterio.
Find out heading into WrestleMania. There's probably going to be a story going into Mania with them, and we'll find out. Ultimately, I think Grande Americano might end up getting unmasked.
Probably.
I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. But I'm kind of intrigued to see where they go with this storyline.
It's interesting and it's fun, and it's again, Jay and I have compared everybody's compared Chad Gable to Kurt Angle, but it's not just because of his wrestling ability. The coolest thing about Kurt Angle was that he could go from this lovable, dorky goof into this wrestling machine without missing a beat. And I'm pretty sure Chad Gable can do the same thing. Which
absolutely anything Chad Gable's been given, he's taken it and run with it. From the days with Jason Jordan and the tag team to Shorty G days, Shorty G where he was made to look like a loser from the man in charge, whoever that guy is, the guy that was in charge at one point, to now being with having Alpha Academy, being involved with Alpha Academy, to now being American made. And doing his thing, and he's from last year to this year, where he was chasing the Intercontinental Championship until now. It's been fantastic. Chad Gable is incredible talent. Not only as a wrestler, like you said, he can click at any time, going character to wrestler. It's very good.
Mhm.
I truly enjoy his work. I enjoy he has something there. He has something there, and eventually it's going to pay off for him. What his work that he's doing currently, it's going to pay off for him. Question is when.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Soon, I believe. Soon is the answer.
I would think so.
But so then we cut to a recap of what happened last week, which was awesome. So fun. Jay and I spent like another 20 minutes talking about that.
Fantastic main event and everything last week. Fantastic way for that to end the show in Madison Square Garden, and
It's
a great
so
way for
fun
them
when
to
wrestling is
start
good.
this WrestleMania feud we're about to go into.
Yeah. So Rollins came out next and cut a promo, kind of recapped his issues with Punk and Reigns.
Not really a promo, just
I hated it. This was a nothing promo.
It had there. It's just like Paul Heyman's promo on Friday. There was no reason for it to be on the
like
show.
a preview of coming attraction.
Basically to say this is what the hell's going to happen. Yep. These guys are going to be on SmackDown in Italy on Friday. So am I. I'm going to show up there too.
And everyone in Brussels is like, great.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey,
awesome.
they're not here right now, but they're going to be there Friday. So I'll be there Friday. I don't get why they're doing that. I asked, and I was told it's just to get heat on those guys that aren't there. It's to get heat on them for not being there. So this leading into what's coming Friday, where we're going to have all three of them under the same roof for the first time since essentially the Rumble. I'm not really going to count last week because Roman Reigns just dominated them. Roman Reigns took out both of them. He completely dominated both of them at Madison Square Garden. This will be the first time that they're really under one roof, and they're going to be interacting with each other in that way, all three of them, because Roman was doing it individually. Roman interacted with both of them individually last week. This one, I think this is where you're going to have Punk there. Punk is going to talk to Heyman. This is where we're going to get that favor coming into play. The favor is going to officially come into play. People are like, well, why does he need the favor? He's already in this storyline. I don't think the favor is a triple threat match. I think the favor is we're gonna use this. Paul Heyman, you have weight in this company. Roman Reigns is a certified main eventer. I want my main event match at WrestleMania this year. I'm going to be a WrestleMania main eventer. That's what I think it's going to end up coming down to. And I think they're going to start the setup on Friday.
Sure. My thought process was when we were talking about it last week, as I said, what if Punk's favor is that he wants Heyman to be in his corner?
Which I heard that. But that's really, really, really going to piss off Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Which is why I think maybe what if that were to, especially after Roman attacked him last week, like Punk could be like, well, screw you. My favor is I want your wise man in my corner at WrestleMania.
That would work because he's the original Paul Heyman guy outside of the Beast Incarnate. He's the other Paul Heyman guy. He had his 434-day championship reign with Paul Heyman by his side, so it would work. The question is, what we got 4 weeks until Mania. We're gonna have to watch it all unfold.
Yep, sure do.
It could be an exceptional week in WWE history if we get 2 of the greatest promos of the year on back-to-back shows. We got Cena today. If Rollins and Reigns and Punk can even do half of what they're capable of on Friday, that's 2 for 2 for these European shows, which is very exciting. We're going to talk.
I want to see Seth make up on Friday for tonight's promo segment. I understand that they have their what they want him to go out there and do and talk about. I get that, but at the same time, it's like now he's going to have to make up for it because he's inserting himself into a show that he's not a part of. He's not on SmackDown, but he's been advertised for SmackDown for a few weeks. If you go to the ticket details, he's been on SmackDown for a few weeks. They just made it official today, saying that he's going to be there. And I think we're going to get a great segment out of the 3 of them. 3 amazing talent right there. 3 amazing talent right there who generally do not like each other. Yes. They don't like each other at all. All 3 of them.
You know who else doesn't like each other, Corey? Bron Breakker and Finn Balor. And we're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, this week's podcast is sponsored by Cory. We have a sponsor now. You believe it?
Oh, I heard.
This week's podcast is sponsored by Shroom Bar, the protein mushroom bar. Now listen, it's not made up of psychedelics like what you think of when you think of mushrooms. It's made up of 4 powerful mushroom adaptogens. It's got lion's mane, which increases focus, memory, neuroplasticity, makes it easier to form new patterns and learn new things. So next time, Cory, that you're trying to learn a new move that'll actually stick in your head rather than forget it immediately, go to Shroom Bar. Maybe get some lion's mane. It's also got cordyceps, which increases VO2 max, blood flow, and overall endurance. And it's got reishi. I found out how to pronounce that. Reishi, which decreases stress. And finally, my friends, it's got turkey tail, which boosts your immune system. And we all know, especially people like Cory, you gotta boost your immune system or you're gonna be sick for 3 weeks.
Unfortunately, yes, I know all about that. I definitely need to build up.
You need to go to Shroom Bar, Cory. But on top of all that, it's also got 12 grams of protein. So if you want protein, if you want to think clearer, feel better, go to eatshroombar.com. Use code BODYSLAM at checkout for 25% off your first order. Cory, I'm not going to force you to do mushrooms, but it would be cool if you tried just to see how you felt. Just give it a shot. One time, I'll pay for it.
Maybe I'll do it and do it on stream. Maybe I'll do it on a podcast.
Oh, heck yeah.
That'd be great.
Maybe I'll do it on a podcast episode when we're plugging them. Be like, here's the product right here. I'm going to try it myself.
That'd be fun. I'm sure people would watch that. People would also watch Bron Breakker versus Finn Balor. You guys, this was a match I really was looking forward to. It's 2 hard-hitting guys. If this was 2014 in NXT, this would have been like the main event of a takeover. But we got it on Raw. It was a good match. Breakker did win the match because of the usual shenanigans that you would expect from Dominic Mysterio and Carlito. They ended up costing Finn Balor the match. They made him lose his balance on the top rope. Breakker hit the spear, got in the ring. Carlito and Mysterio hit the ring. They started attacking Bron Breakker. And then the superstar, the superhero, El Cielo Miedo, Penta, made the save. Ended the show staring down Bron Breakker. There's a lot that happened. What do you guys think of this match and the fallout?
We touched on it. We touched on it a little bit with the backstage segment, saying there was some shenanigans that were going to happen. They're building more towards the Finn and Dom separation. We can see it playing week in, week out. The Finn and Dom, the ultimate. What's going to end up happening is probably Finn's going to get kicked out of Judgment Day. Finn's going to be the one to go. They keep costing each other. They're supposed to be a family, and they keep getting in each other's way, no matter what. They keep getting in each other's way, and ultimately, Dominic and Carlito cost Finn the Intercontinental Championship because of their own, I guess, egos, you could say. Dominic up there was trying to distract Bron Breakker, but instead, Bron Breakker goes. He not only gets a hold of Bron Breakker, but when he does that, like you said, it caused Finn Balor to fall on the top rope, basically, which allowed Bron Breakker to go ahead the Frankensteiner, go leading into a spear, ended the match. The beatdown happens. Penta comes out for the save. Penta takes out Judgment Day. Then you have Penta grab the Intercontinental Championship, holds it up, hands it to Bron Breakker, and they have the stare down to end the show. Penta's intentions are very clear. He wants the Intercontinental Championship, and I believe that's the direction they're going for WrestleMania. It has been teased. They've been teasing multiple opponents for
that's what I was going to say
over like the last month and a half. But I believe Penta versus Braun is going to be a one-on-one match. At this point, I think that's going to be a one-on-one match, as it should be. That match probably could steal whatever night it's on. That show could steal it because holy hell, those are 2 different wrestling styles, but holy hell are they both hard-hitting, and that's going to be one hell of a match. And like we talked about, Penta is an absolute star. The presentation has been fantastic. That Intercontinental Championship looked good in his hand. So I'm just going to say Penta will be our Intercontinental Champion come WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's where they were going. I felt like a multi-man match maybe because Braun had you know, he's been dealing with the Judgment Day. He had a thing with AJ Styles, the Penta stuff. So it felt like they could go that way. But as we're kind of seeing it, yeah, I thought one thing in the match was, you know, Dom grabbed the IC title during the match tonight. He was the one that grabbed it off the pedestal. They keep it on. I think that was very much done on purpose as well. Because, you know, I feel like Dom and the IC title, whether it is a Penta feud after Mania or Finn,
I think that's the direction. I think that's the direction they're going to end up going, because we talked about Dom mentioning Penta joining Judgment Day. I think that's the direction they're going to end up going when they're done with the Finn and Dom stuff. Is Dom's eventually going to chase Penta for that title? They're going to fight for it. Dom is going to take that title from Penta, but yeah, there's a lot of teasing that gets done every week on purpose because they want you to think of what's going to happen. We didn't talk about it. But AJ Styles had an interview with Kathy Kelly.
Yeah.
AJ Styles did an interview with Kathy Kelly, and Karrion Kross came in and interrupted him and basically said, "It took you, 16 years to get to WWE? It took Logan Paul none, and he's overtaken you, and you're just upset that he was able to do what you wanted to do in such a shorter amount of time." So TikTok basically
is such a bastard.
Karrion Kross,
excellent.
His character presentation into these stories and how he changes people that he interacts with. He does not need to win a title ever.
Yeah,
his character work is so good, and not to mention the work that he does on social media. The character work that he does on social media is fantastic. You mentioned AJ Styles, JPJ. You mentioned AJ Styles being teased a little bit for the Intercontinental Championship as well. I think it's pretty clear we know what direction they're going with AJ Styles for WrestleMania now. They're going to give AJ Styles the Logan Paul match. And if there's anybody that can have a fucking phenomenal match, pun intended, it's AJ Styles with Logan Paul.
Had the best match with Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 33, which I was in row 2. I was in row 2 for. I got to see it. The match was fucking incredible.
It was the best match on Mania then. It was the best. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. The feud leading up to that match was great too. The way AJ Styles felt disrespected by management, and the way that he was able to bring Shane McMahon into that element in that match, I think it's going to be the same with Logan Paul. Logan Paul is a phenomenal wrestler. For what he's done, the short amount of time that he's been in the business. May not like the person Logan Paul, but I gotta give him his credit where credit's due when it comes to in-ring work. He can work with anybody. We've seen him work with Roman Reigns, saw him work with Ricochet. He can work all these different styles. I think AJ Styles and Logan Paul will be a very good match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree too. Looking forward to seeing it. Even if we don't like Logan Paul, I am looking forward to that match. Speaking of WrestleMania, this is something that I do. I do it every year. Do you guys go back and watch previous WrestleManias, like in the build-up to that year's? I try to. I start at one, and I don't watch the whole show, but I'll start at one, watch the highlights, watch the cool parts, and just kind of psych myself up for the upcoming WrestleMania. Do you guys do something like that?
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I like going back and watching old episodes and old PLEs.
What are your guys' favorite WrestleMania?
Oh God, this is gonna make me
the one that got me into wrestling. I'm gonna tell you right now, the one that got me into wrestling, WrestleMania 20, is my favorite WrestleMania of all time.
Great one.
From Madison Square Garden. You had the double main event there. Ultimately, but it was great. It was great. I got into it, like I said, John Cena, WrestleMania 20 was the reason I got into being a professional wrestling fan. So it is my number one. Nothing has surpassed it yet. I think with the talent that they have, their talent pool now, and the stories that they can work with moving forward, I think we're probably going to end up having greatest WrestleMania of all time in the next few years. 40 was fantastic. 40 had some good matches on it. 39 was great. You had probably in the last 10 years, you've had five out of the top 10 WrestleManias. But I think we're just getting started when it comes to the pool of talent and WrestleMania.
Sure. Yeah. Sentimentally, WrestleMania 14 was in Boston. I was there for that with Stone Cold finally winning the title. Kane and the Undertaker for the first time. You can see the photo behind me. So like I was there for that as a teenager. So that was, WrestleMania 30 with Daniel Bryan. That whole, obviously the Undertaker streak is part of that too, which adds extra stuff to it. But really the story, everybody talks about Bryan winning the title as they should, but that opening match that he has with Triple H is so good.
Yeah,
it is
the
so
story
good.
in it. The storytelling that they were telling within that match was very good.
It was unbelievable. That was really, really good. WrestleMania X7, the TLC match. WrestleMania 19 is really good. There's a bunch of them, but like
18 with Hollywood. Hulk
Hollywood and The Rock. I feel like
that happened.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Today in history was that match.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock happened today in history. If you guys did not know, to you viewers, that happened today in history.
Yeah. So like I go back and I watch old full manias of like the go-to manias, but I'll also go back and I'll watch, like, I'm not going to sit through WrestleMania 13 in its entirety because it's ass. Sure. But Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, for my opinion, is the best WrestleMania match of all time. And like I'll go back and I'll watch that match. You know what I mean? Yeah, so like there's things like that too. So I'll go back and I'll watch matches on bad manias, but I'll watch like that core like 3 or 4 like studly manias in their entirety, Yeah.
Since you asked me, I loved WrestleMania 17. I loved WrestleMania 19. I know that 17 is like regarded as like the greatest of all time, but WrestleMania 19 had so many great matches. Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle.
If Brock hits the senton, it's the greatest.
Yeah.
Maybe the greatest. Yeah, it's like the greatest mania of all time. But
that shooting star Brett is scary. That was a scary thing to watch. But I also really, really love WrestleMania 28. That Hell in a Cell end of an era match between Triple H and the Undertaker. That I was convinced the Undertaker was going to lose. So it was that was really good, guys. Well, this has been fun. Cory, it's been great to have you back. In honor of you being back, we're going to go through some of these comments. We missed you doing it. Jay's done a great job, but we need you to
I've tried to fill in. I tried to fill the shoes as best I could.
Which match do you think is going to main event for Night 1 WrestleMania? I talked about that already. I think it's going to be Roman versus Punk versus Rollins, although I feel like the women do deserve the main event.
Agreed.
With this triple threat that's coming in. I think it's going to be Roman versus Punk versus Rollins. Let's see. Do you guys watch New Japan? I try to. It's just hard to stay up until 3, 4 in the morning and watch. So I like to read the results. I try to get some highlights going on. I know the New Japan Cup is going on right now. Shooter versus Shooter versus David Finlay in the final. So there's some good stuff going on in New Japan right now. This Universal said that John Cena's heel turn was the worst of all time. Said that the script is terrible. I have to hard disagree with that. Best viewers on streamboo.com. No thank you.
Hell yeah. No space. No space.
Remove the space.
No space.
J Kid, my brother, said that I was making some good points. Raw was pretty good. Yeah, we watched it together. We watched it. We were in a PlayStation party watching it. Did the only thing that we really didn't like. We talked about it on the show with the Seth Rollins stuff. Seth Rollins promo didn't really make any sense. Talking about you, Nick, he said you got some good taste with the Batman. The Batman in the background.
You guys have to see if you can see all of it.
He loves Batman.
Loves Batman.
Batman
yes,
is
I do have a framed picture of myself on my wall.
Oh yeah.
And then he said again, the builds aren't probably going to be great. They're usually watered down, but Mania is going to be amazing, especially if the bottle breaks at night 2. We talked about that earlier in the show. We all believe that the bottle is going to break on night 2.
I did not. Maybe this is cognitive dissonance. I did not ever put together that it was a bottle breaking. Is it a bottle breaking?
Oh, yeah, glass shattering. Some sort of glass shattering.
It's a bottle. Yeah, it's a bottle. Yeah. It's a bottle breaking.
I assume it's a beer. Yeah, it could be like a beer bottle.
It's a beer bottle because he's a beer.
Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah, it's a beer bottle. It's a beer. Yeah. I think in one of his entrance videos they show it. They show the glass breaking and it's a bottle. It's one of a beer bottle.
Wow. You just changed my life. Good job.
Yokozuna versus
Jay.
Luger didn't do it for you at Mania 10, JPJ.
Listen, I'm a big Yoko guy. I love Yoko. WrestleMania 10 is a pretty decent Mania too, but yeah, no.
Is Nick really Bruce Wayne?
Oh.
Am I Bruce Wayne? Am I Americano?
I thought he's Grande Americano. I thought that's Grande Americano.
That's what we found out, that you're Grande Americano.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah, this has been fun, guys. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be feeling better. You guys have been holding down the fort, so I'm glad to be back on the show again. Let's just keep doing it. We're going,
man. It's the best part of the year. Best part of the year, Mania time, baby.
Right now, Mania season is the greatest. We're rolling right into it. And then after Mania, you're going into Backlash season. You got Saturday night's main event coming here. I got my tickets for 4 days. Going to all 4 shows that they're coming to Tampa. Going to Saturday night's main event, WWE Battleground, Raw, and NXT. Going to all 4 of the shows that are coming to town. So I'm going to have a blast that weekend. If I can't make it to Vegas, I'm damn sure going to go to the shows that are in my city. I don't have to travel to.
Of course.
I'm going to go. I got my ticket.
Nothing ever comes to it.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. It was always a pleasure to see you. Everybody that's watching, thank you for joining us. This has been an afternoon version of Raw Dogs, and now I got to go back to work. I'll see you guys next week.
Much love, everybody.
Peace out.